And Judge, what do you think about this DOGE, Department of Government Efficiency, headed by Elon and Vivek Ramaswamy?
I think it's a good thing. I have had countless examples of people I went to school with, myself in my early days, or other people. We've had this thing, well, are you still getting a check from the government? Yeah, man. I mean, I haven't worked for them since I did that intern thing. And it's been a year and a half, but I'm still getting a check. Why? Well, they said if they cut the check off, the money for the next round will be reduced. So I haven't showed up for work in a year and a half, but I get a paycheck. Okay, or you see these things, especially in our Defense Department. Well, pilots do their touch and goes and stuff with the heavy equipment, B-52s, B-1s, B-2s, etc. So go back up and do 4 more laps. We've completed it, but we haven't used up enough fuel. Well, don't we want to save that? No. If we don't burn it, they won't pay for it next year. So you need to cut out those billions of dollars that are wasted because of the bureaucratic mindset. So I think that would be good. Ramaswamy, a billionaire, Elon Musk, the richest man in the world, you would have people who have expertise on managing large industrialized concerns, and the crew, elite crew that they want to assemble to cut back on the frivolous expenses. Like, for example, in the United States military, we're putting ourselves into a situation where we might have a conventional set to with an equal party, and we don't need a fact in place like we haven't built an M2 Bradley chassis in 30 years, nor an M1 tank chassis in 30 years. But every time somebody gets sexually reassignment surgery, the process costs the taxpayers essentially the price of a brand new Bradley or most of an unequipped M1 tank chassis, which needs to be upgraded since it's 40-some years old anyway. You see, these expenses need to be apprised, and we need efficiency because the money is just getting ridiculous that we're spending.
Now, the critics say they're not going to be able to do as much as they want. They're not going to be able to pull an Elon walking into Twitter and cut out 80%. They say, a lot of that budget is entitlements. You can't cut back on that. What do you say to those critics?
Well, yeah, you have a point there. Plus, one of the aspects of civil service is you just can't fire a typical civil service employee without good cause. But what you can do is change the administrative circumstances so that people can be free to do what some have been threatening. If Trump gets elected, I'm leaving the country. Bye-bye. Or I'm resigning from the FBI. I'm resigning from this if they get in. Good. We need you to go try the real world for a change. You've been in this insular community for 27 years now.
I think
time to move on.
Vivek's plan is to make them show up for work, and he thinks that'll cut out 50% of the workforce.
That might.
That's an interesting idea. Moving on to Bobby Kennedy, and also Jay Bhattacharya has just been announced for National Institute of Health, I believe. Bobby kind of running the whole thing. What are your thoughts there? Because apparently he's not going to play around. He's going to clean that whole house.
Investment Club. Today, I consider it the best investment that I've ever made. We get 4 projects presented a week by their associated CEOs. Personally, I'm completely blown away by the quality of these projects, and I know of nowhere else where I would be given this same opportunity. Each week that passes, I feel more appreciative of the fact that I'm a member of this group. The vibe was just tremendous. Everybody's on the same wavelength. We just clicked. Everybody listened to each other, enjoyed their company. It was just magical, magical. Take action. Don't take my word for it. Due diligence you need to do. And I really hope that someday down the road I see you in the club. It far exceeded expectations, without question.
Well, yeah. You see, here's the thing. You have a continuity in any bureaucracy, the people that are always there, particularly in the United States where they tend to be civil service. So there is a continuity of culture, but every now and then somebody comes in at the top, wants to redirect things. So there's a tension between the establishment, so to speak, and the new drive. So that tends to, in my experience, promote some efficiencies, reorganizations, and some reconceptualizations of, shall we say, objectives. It's a good thing.
And do you think we can make America healthy again? Do you think?
I think we can.
Really? How bad is it, would you say, Judge? How bad is it?
I think what happened with the last time with COVID-19 is we fell into what I call the sci-fi trap. If you examine sci-fi for the last 100 years, the plot is usually the same. The public won't understand, so you lie to them so they don't panic. And what wound up happening is exactly that. Some misinformation was conveyed to the public. When it started developing that wasn't accurate, there was a distrust. So people just said, we're not believing anybody. And instead of saying, somebody's trying to save us, you're saying somebody is trying to manipulate us. What are they trying to manipulate us for? Because we don't trust them. Their motives are probably unholy. Therefore, you get a lot of public distrust. Now, the public was not told on the front, this is very dangerous. We aren't quite sure what the devil's going on. We have these alternatives. We will be very candid with you about all that's on the table that we know about. They didn't do that, and that was a bad thing. So that set up a system of distrust. So it didn't work. Now, I grew up in a time when everybody wanted the vaccinations because they hadn't invented the polio vaccine, and that was a horrible crippler around the world, particularly in the southern United States or areas where it got warm. So I remember people leaving the cities when there would be a polio epidemic, and when they came up with the Salk vaccine, then everybody was fighting to get in line to get the shots. And we knew, our parents knew, that every 100,000 or so people, there was going to be a tragedy, but they were used to Korea, World War II, World War I, and there still might have been a Civil War veteran somewhere kicking around loose, and frontier veterans abounded, so death was not unknown to the public, and nor was adverse risk. So they accepted it, but not now, because we are used to a safety bubble where our well-being is supposedly guaranteed. We have few who remember the flu epidemic of 1918, which originated in the United States, even though it was called the Spanish flu. I think Spain was the only country that was not involved in that World War I trench fracas, but it is what it is. So I think there is a need to restore confidence. I think Kennedy can do that.
Hey, I know investing in crypto is scary. It takes a real leap of faith because there are so many scams, rug pulls, and bad actors out there. It's a dangerous business, which is why 95% of people lose all their money. Well, that's why I created the London Real Investment Club, so you can access the hottest deals on the planet and use the crypto bull market to create the generational wealth that you deserve. Join my team of over 100 people from around the world that are making millions of dollars behind the scenes investing in blockchain, AI, Web3 games, DeFi, Bitcoin, and more. Don't miss out. Click the link below to book a call with one of my team now. But hurry, this bull market will end soon.
I know investing in crypto can be scary. That's why you gotta join the investment club. Pull the trigger. Let's do this.